pond accident that took the lives of two young teenagers in Carteret, New Jersey, and in a nearby neighboring town. Two separate incidents, accidents that should have never happened. And we're going to talk about it right now. Guys, again, if you are not subscribed to my channel, now is the time to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get all things DutyRon when I do go live. Again, tonight's subject is a tragic accident that is a PSA that was, this is something that we as parents always speak to our children about. Hello, Lisa and Black Rose and Ginger Lock's moms. Guys, if you don't mind, please share it out onto your social media. Tonight's broadcast and tonight's video is going to be a PSA request as per the family. One of the victims of these two teens, I personally know the family. I'm not very, very close with them, but I do have professional contact with them, and I do know them through my police professional life. So I was contacted early this morning by this victim's niece, victim's aunt, and she had asked me to please, in her nephew's name, put out a PSA and make a broadcast and share out their GoFundMe for her 13-year-old nephew, who she described to me as being like a son to her. This is her sister's kid who perished last night in an ice accident. Again, guys, if you can, please share onto your social media, invite your followers and subscribers outside of YouTube, and share it onto YouTube. I just tweeted this out on my Twitter account. Hello, Frog, Push Eye on Weather, Lisa111, and all my channel members. Thank you so much for being in here. Trevor JP, thank you for that. No ice is ever 100% safe. And again, ice is dangerous. And if you're not in a ice skating rink or somewhere where it's a controlled, safe environment, you're not to go out on it. So great to see Picture It Positive, Black Rose, and everybody in the chat. Again, guys, I'm going to share this all over. I will link in the description below a GoFundMe link that will help this family bury their 15-year-old son. And the separate victim, which they are not known to each other, happened within hours of each other on Wednesday. Great to see you, Hot Sauce Junkie Tim. Thank you so much for joining. So these two incidents in New Jersey, you're going to hear very shortly how quickly these happened, and also the dangers that exist for responding personnel. There were many fire and police and EMS units that were involved in this recovery. This young boy, his name is David Tilburg, 15 years old, from Carteret, New Jersey. He died Wednesday going into Thursday evening. Actually, they brought him to the hospital and they tried to revive him, but he fell underneath the ice with one of his friends. His friend was able to get out, and he was trapped underneath the ice for over an hour. So if you are, if you do suffer from any type of anxiety or PTSD, I'm going to ask you to please step out of the room and come back, because I'm going to play a couple of videos from the news. And again, I was asked by the family to do this. They are now in a grieving process. They are distraught, as you might think. You know, they are distraught. And I did talk to her on the phone. So she gave me the permission to go live about it, because she wants to get out in her nephew's name to any potential families or people that could become victim of this, and send out a message for people to warn your children to stay away from all ice ponds throughout the Northeast, and anywhere where it's cold up in the north in the wintertime. Stay far, far away from the ice. This young boy, 15 years old, was one of 6 children. So now his mom has five children to grieve and go through this along with her husband. They were great community people. They still are living in that community for many, many years, and a lot of friends and family have come to their side to console them. So let me set up the first clip for you guys, and I will be right back. 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Stand by, guys.
Frozen ponds, both teens falling through ice.
About David Tilburg.
Families of 2 New Jersey teens are grieving today after 2 separate deadly accidents on 2 different frozen ponds. Both teens falling through ice. Both happened in Middlesex County. CBS's Jenna DeAngelo spoke to one of the families in Carteret.
Okay, this is his aunt and her nephew. This is the young lady who I'm friends with. She reached out to me and asked me to share the GoFundMe and also share her family story. They're obviously in grieving still. This just happened last night. So this is an interview with her at the location, at the scene of the accident in the freezing cold last night.
He was just the perfect kid, you know, the perfect son to my sister, the perfect brother.
There was so much to love about David Tilburg. His devastated aunt finding the strength to share how special he was.
He was just the best. Like, funny, goofy, just a kid.
She said he posted this picture on Snapchat with the caption, "On the ice, baby," moments before he and a friend slipped through icy Carteret.
Okay, this is the pond where this tragic accident happened. This young man was out with his friend and thought it was safe to go out because it's such a small little pond. He went out there to just maybe go out and walk across it or slide across it, and he fell underneath the ice. His friend was able to somehow get out and survived, and he was trapped for an hour underneath the ice. The emergency services, the police, and the fire took them 60 minutes to get him out. They began life-saving CPR and transported him to the nearest hospital, where he passed away. So I'm going to let this continue, but this is a good look at the location, and you can see right here in the middle of your picture, right to the right of this arrow, there's a sign that says caution. Pretty much don't go out on the thin ice. So unfortunately, these young boys went out there, and it cost my friend's nephew his life. So I'm going to let this continue.
Pond Wednesday night. The boy he was with was able to get out on his own as rescue crews rushed in to help David.
Is he out of the water? Negative, he's under the water in the ice.
The police, the rescue guards, they came out with the boat and they were...
Okay, so you just heard that was audio from the police and fire, and they asked if he was out of the pond, and they responded that negative, he was underneath the ice. So terrible situation.
poking through the ice because they couldn't get through the...
Be just a kid.
She said he posted this picture on Snapchat with the caption, "On the ice, baby," moments before he and a friend slipped through ice.
Again, he posted on his Snapchat that picture. She described that to me, the family actually seeing that. It was in the dark. It was dark, and he posted that picture on the ice baby and put it on his Snapchat. And that was the last thing that he did before this terrible accident happened.
See Carteret Pond Wednesday night. The boy he was with was able to get out on his own as rescue crews rushed in to help David.
Is he out of the water? Negative. He's under the water in the ice.
The police, the rescue guards, they came out with the boat and they were poking through the ice because they couldn't get through the ice at first with the boat, and they just kept breaking it and breaking it until they got to that point.
Witnesses say within an hour, crews were able to pull David out of the water, but he died in the hospital. He's the second New Jersey teen to lose his life after slipping through an icy pond last night. The East Brunswick community is coping with the loss of 13-year-old Yusuf Kella. His friend from church is one of them.
Great smile, he'd make you laugh. He was really funny, nice.
So this is another victim, separate incident that happened just within miles of this location, all in the same night. So that overhead view of that pond is gives you a pretty good look. I'm going to stop it on there. I'm going to back it up so you guys can see this
Community
overhead.
is coping with the loss of 13-year-old Yusuf Kella, the second New Jersey teen to lose his.
Okay, so that's an overhead view of the pond at the second location. That's not the first. This one seems considerably larger. So, this you could see here to the right of this arrow where they broke the ice to do the rescue right here in towards the right part of the screen, right to the right of this arrow. You could see how dangerous it is to go out on the ice on any pond, no matter how deep or how shallow it is. This is a dangerous game to play. So this is, obviously shot from a helicopter, overview shot. So I'll let it continue.
Life after slipping through an icy pond last night. The East Brunswick community is coping with the loss of 13-year-old Yusuf Kella. His friend from church is one of them.
Great smile.
Yes, Michelle, both from New Jersey.
He was a really funny, nice, genuinely great kid.
The 13-year-old was with two other teens when they fell through the ice of this pond located right behind the police station before 5 p.m. Two of the boys were able to get out and call for help. Yusuf was eventually rescued and rushed to the hospital, but didn't make it.
I wish I could have talked to him one last time.
These incidents, police say, are a tragic reminder no ice is safe ice. A heartbroken family echoing that important message.
I just hope everybody tells their kids not to go on the ice.
So that is my friend who texted me and called me this morning. You could see the tears coming down her face. She was distraught when I spoke to her today, and rightfully so. She lost her nephew, who was, as she stated, like a son to her. So my heart breaks for her and her entire family. I'm sending prayers and positive vibes and strength to the families, both families, but especially my friend here who reached out to me because she knows that I have a large following on social media, and she wanted to. Her sister had 6 children, now has 5, and she is struggling to come up with the fundage to bury her son, not financially able to handle that at this time. So there's a GoFundMe that I'm going to link down below, and I shared into my YouTube video share group and my crime share group on Facebook. I shared it on my Twitter. I will pin it there. Any donation of any sort would be tremendous help, even if it was $1 to this family. So I know I'm going to donate to them as well. And I may even take a ride to New Jersey to pay my respects.
Do that. Kids are going to be kids, but tell them,
She says she's hoping important message.
I just hope everybody tells their kids not to go on the ice. Don't do that. Kids are going to be kids, but tell them,
She says she's hoping kids will pay closer attention to these signs by the pond, warning to keep off the ice.
Okay, as you can see behind her, it's kind of blurred behind this reporter, but it does say danger, thinning ice, keep off. So, like I said, definitely a blurry picture. but we get the idea. It says danger in red, thinning ice, keep off. But unfortunately, these children in two separate incidents did not pay attention to that. And you're going to hear also in another report that people say that the kids go out there and do it all the time. The kids are always out there doing it. So this is some kind of, I guess a common occurrence, because maybe they feel that because the pond is shallow, they could safely go in there. But if you fall in and under, as we see with David, it could cost you your life.
And now with the temperature above freezing, the ice is melting, making these ponds even more unsafe. In Carteret, New Jersey, Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
Both schools the teenagers attended are providing resources to support grieving students and staff.
Okay, let me just give you one more that I have here. Actually, I have a second.
Safety measures around frozen ponds following the deaths of two teens who fell. There are now calls for more safety measures around frozen ponds following the deaths of two teens who fell through the ice in New Jersey.
Two separate accidents happening last night in separate ponds. CBS 2's Meg Baker with more of the young lives that were lost.
Mourners came to pay their respects laying flowers by a pond in East Brunswick where 13-year-old Yusuf Kella lost his life. His cousin says he had a bright future ahead.
I think he wanted to be a doctor.
The teen was with two others when he fell through the ice Wednesday before 5 p.m. The two other boys were able to get out and call for help. Yusuf was eventually rescued and rushed to the hospital, but two other boys were able to get out and
Okay, again, pretty graphic, the view overhead.
Call for help. Yusuf was eventually rescued and rushed to the hospital, but didn't make it.
Great smile, he'd make you laugh. He was a really funny, nice, genuinely great kid. And it's just, when I found out, it was just, I was like heartbroken.
It was a tragic night. Over in Carteret, David Tilburg's aunt says he posted this picture on Snapchat with the caption, "On the ice, baby," moments before he and a friend slipped through icy Carteret Pond. It took rescue crews more than an hour to get him out.
Out of the water. Negative, he's under the water in the ice.
Signs warn thin ice, but some say that's not enough to stop kids from pushing the limits.
I think in order to protect the children, something must be done. I don't know what, but something to protect these children. A barrier, some type of barrier, something. This shouldn't have happened.
Maybe water fountains so that the water doesn't freeze.
Residents started a memorial here by the pond and have also set up a GoFundMe page for the family.
People are slowly adding stuff to it, flowers and candles, and we're all trying to come together.
Police say these incidents are a tragic reminder. No ice is safe ice. In Carteret, New Jersey, Meg Baker, CBS 2 News.
Okay, well said by that reporter. No ice is safe ice. And Trevor JP said that right from the beginning. So that woman said, maybe install fountains to aerate the water. I think even if you put fences up, that'll be a deterrent, but the kids will climb the fence. I really feel that education through the schools, through the families, through parents, you need to use this obviously as an example. And Nicole, this victim's aunt, came to me and said, we want to send out a message in memory of my nephew, which I thought was very strong and brave of her. Not even 24 hours after losing, it wasn't even 24 hours after losing her nephew, she reached out to me and said, we want to do something in his name to help prevent any further. So that's the kind of people this family is. And I commend them for having the strength to want to, send out a message of safety for the additional kids that are out there that might be thinking about doing this and going in and having some fun. It could cost them their lives. I'm just going to wait until the commercial rolls on this one. This is the last one that I'll show you guys.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but I'll spare you guys that commercial.
Yes, thank you for the super chat, Meglo. Meglo sends in super chat saying, "My condolences to the family." Thank you, Meg, for always being kind. I appreciate that. Much love to you and yours as well. So here we go.
And the best part?
I'm going to let this roll in a second.
Tragic thin ice accidents in New Jersey. 2 killed, 3 others hurt after 2 separate cases of teenagers falling into icy ponds.
The victims, a 15-year-old killed in Carteret and a 13-year-old killed in East Brunswick. Both incidents happening just hours and miles apart from each other yesterday. Tonight, the families are reacting and issuing a warning for others.
New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson is live in East Brunswick. Anthony?
Yeah, when we went to the house of the East Brunswick victim, we could hear the family inside the home. They were praying. They were obviously very, very emotional about the tragedy that took place in this pond just yesterday afternoon. Now, a number of people have come out here looking at the pond, reflecting, leaving flowers out here at the scene, but they can't believe that such a young life is gone. He was a young man full of dreams and aspirations. But now his family is left with a hole in their heart after 13-year-old Yusuf Kella died after falling through the ice in a pond near the East Brunswick Municipal Complex.
He's a good guy. He loves to help everybody, and he loves to go out of her way for everyone.
Yusuf and his family came to the United States from Egypt in 2006, and he had big plans of living the American dream.
He wants to be a scientist, and also one of his dreams in the church, he wants to go to the monastery and serve people.
The Coptic Christian family has been gathering and consoling one another, and their neighbors are shocked that such a young life is now gone.
I used to play on my basketball hoop and all that, so, I can't imagine what they're going through, but, it's tough for them, I'm sure.
This tragedy comes on the heels of another victim falling through the thin ice and losing their life, this time in Carteret. The death of David Tilburg leaves another family grieving, a youngster whose life had just really gotten started.
David was perfect, he was just a quiet kid and shy, and he was goofy and he was funny, and he just started to break out of his shell.
These 2 deaths on thin ice in 2 different locations is a cautionary note to all.
If you see ice on a lake, it's not safe. Don't go out on any ice unless it's an ice skating rink.
Most definitely, those words must be taken with a whole lot of caution. And certainly, as we look at this pond, you can see it is very thin ice. And of course, temperatures being in the 40s, it doesn't look like this pond or many ponds in this area will freeze for quite a long time. Now, the wake for Yusuf is tonight, starting at 7 o'clock at St. Mary's Coptic Christian Church. His funeral will take place tomorrow.
Walking into a clothing store is a completely different experience for me now.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to get back to the scene here. Let me just close that out. Okay, guys. Julie, I'm so sorry for the loss in your community. I just read that. I was scrolling back as we were going. Catman, thank you so much for being in here, and my thoughts and prayers go out to all the people in Middlesex County and Carteret and in the areas affected by this double tragedy, to children, 13 teenagers, 13 and 15. David Tilburg, 15 years old, and in a separate incident, Yusuf Kalia. I'm not probably saying his name right, but Yusuf Kalia. Kalia, I think they pronounced it. Tragic situation happening. And, we as parents, a lot of us here are parents. Hello, Bells Reborn. A lot of us are parents, and we need to educate our children on, and our grandchildren for that matter, on how to be safe and to stay away from this, a situation like this. And, as fun as it might seem to go out there and slide around on the ice, this could cost your life. So I'm gonna pull up the GoFundMe so you guys can see it. Let's see where it is. GoFundMe, here it is. So I'm gonna just put this on my scene right now, the GoFundMe. Yikes, each time I do this, I gotta. There we go. All right. So this is the GoFundMe for David Tilburg. It looks like $8,800 is raised. They're looking for $20,000 to do the burial. I'm sure that they'll get that. 216 donors. So 216 people donated so far, and just a beautiful outpour of love towards the family. I was reading a lot of the comments on here, and basically people that don't even know them were sending $25 or $20 or $10 and just putting in some really nice condolences and well wishes and sending strength and prayer. I scrolled through it before I went live, and I'm going to read some of the donations. And rest in peace, David, from Victoria and Alessandra. My deepest condolences to the family. God bless. Deepest sympathy to Deanna and her family. Deanna is special to me. J.W. Cole, prayers to her and her family for this terrible loss. So it's just so many wonderful comments coming through. And, this will probably not be any console to the family at this time because they are in shock still now, but they'll go back in the days, weeks, or months in the past, in the future, and they will look at this, and this will be just an outpouring of love that may provide them with some relief, some comfort, if you will. So I'm asking anybody who are friends or capable, if your finances aren't, I understand that, but anybody who supports DutyRon, this is somebody who I know personally, not the actual victim here or his mom and dad, but I do know his aunt. She, on a professional level through the police department, I do know his aunt. So I just ask if you guys could be kind enough to consider maybe a donation to this GoFundMe. I know I'm going to make a donation tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late, but let me just say a quick hello to everybody for being in here. Thank you to my channel members. If you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, please do so and hit the notification bell. I just reached the 13,000 subscriber mark, so thank you for that. This is a very serious safety issue, and it's a public service announcement. As a retired New York City police detective, I feel that it's important that I get the message out there to the young kids and to, first and foremost, families, to educate your children, whether they're 5 years old or 8 years old, or no matter what the age is. Once they become teenagers, they start to explore. And like Nicole said, hi, Dawn, thank you for coming. Nicole said to me in a text message, he was just coming out of his shell, and he was he was a shy young boy, and he had a beautiful voice. She said he could sing. She told him that he would be as famous as Justin Bieber. So she said that, essentially he was a young boy. Thank you, Dawny Color. Thank you so much. She said he was a young, shy boy who had a beautiful, bright smile. And I'm going to look at my phone because she was texting with me. I'll give you her exact words. She just said, Ron, if you could just share this GoFundMe with anyone, it would mean the world to me and my family. And then I just sent back some condolences. And then she said, she also said, I was on the news. They interviewed me. I looked crazy and sounded crazy. Don't judge me. I haven't slept. So she was worried about her looks, but she said, please try to share the GoFundMe link and talk about it on your social media. And then I said, I will share on social, and I'll blah, blah, blah. So I was just going back and forth. Then I called her and we spoke on the phone, and she said his Snapchat is where he put the on the ice picture. And then you guys saw that in the news. So I said, is there anything that you want me to say about your nephew? And she said just how good of a kid he was and how his smile was perfect. And he was shy, but he lit up any room with the smile and his little jokes that he would say amongst family. And she just said he was a beacon of hope and just pure, good, just a wonderful, wonderful kid. So she's heartbroken, and she reached out to me, and that's the reason why. And his mom, Natalie, is so distraught she can't even speak. So, and rightfully so. The mom and dad are just distraught. So his name is in my title. It is David Tillberg, Tillberg. I will link the GoFundMe down below. So guys, I say thank you to each and every one of you for watching this video. Please share it out on all social media. I know this didn't get a lot of attention in the news. I didn't see much. I saw a couple of news clips that I played here from you, but there wasn't a lot of attention. But I wanted to get the message out there to all of the parents to watch their children, grandparents, educate. We need to protect our children, and this could have been avoided. It's just one of the dangers of when you have to let your child off the leash and let them get out there and discover the world, and this kid was not far from his home, and what a shame. So may he rest in peace, and may the family find strength in our community. And I thank everyone who has or will donate to the GoFundMe, and all of the positive messages in the chat, because she will be watching the replay of this. She's not going to be here, obviously, tonight, but she's going to watch the replay. And I don't know if his mom will watch the replay, but certainly I know for sure that that Nicole will watch this replay. So hello from Canada. Good to see you, Linda, and all my good friends, Gail Troxel, the Red Lotus, and all of my good friends. There's the GoFundMe. Thank you for posting that. I will link it down below. So much love and respect from my house to yours. Guys, I will say good night to all of you. Hug your loved ones. Keep your children safe by educating them. I cannot overemphasize the importance of each and every one of us educating our children on ice and pond safety. Get that message and pound it home. It could mean the difference between life and death. So good night from New York City. I thank you, each and every one of you, for supporting me, and much love and respect from my house to yours. Have a good evening, and we will talk soon. Much love.